What's going on, guys? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another Major League Baseball recap. We have so many stories to talk about today, and one of them just warms my heart because Ichiro is one of my favorite players of all time, and he signed a mini contract with the Seattle Mariners. I don't know if he's going to be playing past this Japan series, but he had one of the most... It brought me back to when I was a kid because we all know that Ichiro has one of the best arms in baseball history, and he proved in this clip right here that at 45 years old, the dude still got it.
さあどうでしょう。引っ張ってライトへイチロー下がってゲレーロはセカンドベースにつく後ろからスタートを切る構えだけボールがそのままサードに行きました。
I would definitely tip my cap off to Mr. Ichiro because I feel like he is one of the players in the history of baseball that just earned it, okay? So just the fact that he was able to get 3,000 hits in just a short amount of time, I think in a 10-year stretch, he averaged 224 base hits and had 2,240 hits in his first 10 years, which is just, it's mind-boggling. Ichiro, this game is going to miss you so much, so I'm just glad that we have one more Ichiro highlight reel to add to the mix. So Ichiro, love you, man. Breaking news coming out from New York. I don't know if this is official just yet, but the Yankees, they're about to get a whole lot better if this deal does go through because they're about to add Gio Gonzalez, the left-handed free agent pitcher. He was last on the Brewers, and I believe he was on the Nationals before that. Was he on the Brewers? I'm like 99% sure he was on the Brewers. But if the Yankees are actually able to acquire Gio Gonzalez, and the way that it's being structured right now, it's the same deal that Carlos Gonzalez got from the Indians. It's a minor league deal. Pretty much all that means is that if Carlos Gonzalez or Gio Gonzalez don't get called up to the actual team, the Indians or the Yankees, by April 20th, they can say, we're not going to stay with you, and they can become free agents yet again. But I think that the Indians and Yankees are both good teams. They both need players like Gio Gonzalez and Carlos Gonzalez. So for $3 million, I think that the Yankees would be a whole lot better if they just kept on to Gio. I'm not sure why they would say, hey, let's sign you to a minor league deal or not call you up. It just would not make sense to me. So if you guys are Yankees fans out there, yeah, you guys are getting a pretty good pitcher on your team, because Gio Gonzalez, I'm gonna be real, he's pretty good. So we just talked about the Indians for just a second because Carlos Gonzalez just signed a minor league deal. We're gonna stay with the Indians for just a second. We have quite a few stories to talk about because the Indians just faced off against the Padres, and there's some rumors that the Padres are trying to steal Trevor Bauer away or Corey Kluber. The Padres want one of those two players, either Bauer or Kluber, and I don't know if it's gonna pan out because they've been talking about these rumors for quite some time. The ironic part about these trade rumors is the fact that Trevor Bauer actually just faced off against the San Diego Padres. He did fairly well, but this home run, Josh Naylor, I didn't even know that this guy existed, hit one of the most prodigious and one of the furthest home runs that I have seen in spring training, especially in the Cactus League where the ball just absolutely flies down in Arizona. Take a look at this swing because he pimps it too. He shows Trevor Bauer like, hey man, maybe you want to come to the Padres so I don't have to do that again. Roll it.
I think we got to make that happen. Make that happen. Make that happen.
There's a drive to deep right field for Josh Naylor. That'll send Niekro back looking up, and that is over everything in right field. What a towering blast for Josh Naylor.
So we've talked about Ichiro becoming one of the oldest players to ever start in spring training, along with Julio Franco. We have Phil Niekro was 46 years old, and I think that Nolan Ryan was also 45, the same age as Ichiro. So now that we've talked about some old geezers and some old guys in professional baseball, we're going to move on over to the guys that are going to replace them, the young guns. Javier Baez, I'm not sure what it is about this guy, but he was born with the talent of not only being good at baseball, but also being one of the best swimmers in baseball. And the reason why I say that is because when he slides into second base, kind of like what a swimmer does when they jump into the pool, he just avoids any tag that he wants to. He can steal a base, be thrown out, but then avoid the tag and be safe, just like he did in this clip right here.
There goes Javi, and he's going to be out. No, he got in.
Talk about keeping the tag on. You know, the umpire really has to focus because a lot of times back in the day, throw ahead of the base runner, you kind of go into out mode.
Alright guys, so we started off the video talking about Ichiro in the Japan series, and I did want to roll a few home runs because I noticed something. There was a few home runs that were hit in Japan, but there was a difference. It seems like everyone goes crazy as soon as the ball hits the bat, but in Japan, it seems like it's very quiet. It's a lot more calm than baseball over here, at least in terms of when the ball's hit to actually landing. So I'm wondering if you guys also picked up on this. So I'm going to roll the home runs from Mitch Haniger and Chris Davis, and I want you guys to listen because to me it just sounds really quiet. Maybe it's because it happened to their home team, their Japanese team, I'm not really too sure, but man, it is quiet.
好きっていうのはすごくあると思いますから。高い弾道だ。どこまで行くのか。リッチハニが看板直撃。一番の役割も大きいですね。
Taniguchi is in left field now, and Davis hits it to deep left, and the left fielder will turn and watch, and this is a tie ball game on the first pitch that Chris Davis sees in the 9th inning.
So we actually have a pretty juicy story to talk about, so don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to talk about it in just a second. But before we do that, Paul Goldschmidt and Yasiel Puig are going off for their brand new teams. We know that Paul Goldschmidt was traded from the Arizona Diamondbacks to the St. Louis Cardinals. He just hit his first home run.
Goldschmidt with a drive. There it is. At the wall. Gone is first as a St. Louis Cardinal. Goldschmidt goes deep. First of spring. First as a Redbird.
And now that we just saw Goldschmidt with his first Cardinal home run, we have Yasiel Puig hitting his 3rd and 4th home run in the same game for the Cincinnati Reds. And I'm hoping that Yasiel Puig goes off in 2019 because 1, he's on my fantasy team, and 2, seeing him in red, it almost kind of makes sense because he's always really been a villain in a lot of people's eyes. So just seeing him in red, it's kind of nice, and especially when he's hitting home runs like these.
He is early swinging and hits a drive into deep left center field. Grand slam, Yasiel Puig. And this ball's scalded. He has hit 3 lasers today. And that is a 2nd home run for Yasiel Puig.
I hope that you guys are enjoying today's recap so far because the next story is going to get a little bit heated, a little bit spicy because a lot of people are on one side and then other people are on the other side. Carlos Santana, apparently last year when he was playing for the Philadelphia Phillies, they were on a 9-game losing streak. He was so upset that people were playing Fortnite after the game or just during the game. I'm not really sure what the story was. Some leaks have come out and saying that they weren't playing during the game, but he got so upset and called out people playing video games and saying that it's a distraction and that it shouldn't be done, that he smashed a bunch of TVs. So I want you guys to let me know in the comment section down below. Do you think that video games distract professional players, whether you're playing baseball, football, or basketball? Should you be allowed to take a break and play Fortnite, or do you think that Carlos Santana was in the right saying, hey, we're on a 9-game losing streak, stop playing Fortnite? Guys, I think that wraps it up for today's recap. I almost did a little rapid recap because we talked about a lot of stuff in a short amount of time. The reason why is I found this clip on Twitter. It's really cool because it shows the all-time home run leaders from 1900 up until, I think it was today. So I'm going to go ahead and put the @ of the guy that created this because, again, I did not create this. So we're going to go ahead and show this clip. I hope that you guys enjoy. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll into the best home runs for the last couple days. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed today's recap. I know we talked about a lot in just a short amount of time, but it was a rapid fire video. I hope you guys at least learned a little bit today. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.
The 2-2. Alonso, it's a high fly ball deep to right. It's tailing toward the corner, and that ball is gone. Conforto rips one way back to right. Michael Conforto's had a great spring, and it continues with a 2-run homer.
I mean, Corey, you know this. That ball is tatered to center field, and this one is gone. That almost took out a cactus 2 rows up. That thing's in the neighborhood of 450 feet. Are you kidding me?
Now the 0-2 pitch, a swing and a drive into right field. Mookie Betts will turn. Watch, that ball is hit well and go. Fly ball right field off the bat of Castellanos. This one's deep, going back. Jackson at the fence, jumping up, and it's gone. A home run. First to the spring for Nick Castellanos. A classic Castellanos shot.
Myers to left field and deep. Bowers going back, looking up, and that ball is gone into the bullpen.
Nick Eflin, the 33rd overall selection in 2012 by San Diego, and there's a high fly ball out to deep right field. It's at the wall, and there's home run number 5.
opposite field home run, Tyler O'Neill.